All right, hey everybody, we're back with another news feed for you here, and big news is about the Jeep recall. We'll get to that in a minute. A couple little tidbits here for you along the way. Any of this stuff you want to find for yourself, just type in the author. You can see right here is Kyoto News, and then any of these keywords, it'll pull up that'll pull this article right up for you so you can read it. Same applies to every article or anything I'm going to show you on here. And don't forget, I post videos every single day, sometimes twice a day if I'm in a mood, and a description has got some really cool links in it. Hit the subscribe button. Whew. All right, we got that out of the way. Now, moving on to this here. So, Japan is to require unintended acceleration prevention tech in new cars. This, I think, is kind of okay. All right, and it looks like it's here. It's a secondary thing that can be turned off, maybe. But what this is basically, it is for passenger cars to have the technology to prevent drivers from accelerating unintentionally by hitting the gas pedal instead of the brake, according to the Transport Ministry. Well, the country is facing a rapidly aging population. It is hoped that the new rule will curb traffic accidents often committed by elderly drivers in line with the new UN regulations expected to take effect in June this year. Japan has been proposed to make it international standard since 2022. Transport Minister, whatever this dude's name is, said at a press conference in late June. So what's happening here is this technology will suppress acceleration, meaning that even if the driver fully steps down on the accelerator pedal 1 to 1.5 meters away from a sizable object, the car will stop before hitting it, or slow to less than 8 kilometers per hour if collision is unavoidable. Basically, what it is to prevent people, elderly people, from just slamming on the gas pedal for whatever reason. Maybe they thought they were hitting the brake and they hit the gas instead. Maybe they're having some kind of a medical thing and they slammed on the gas there. It is a technology to prevent this kind of stuff from happening. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Yes, I don't want more tech in my car and I don't want things controlling it, and I want control of my vehicle, but this one clearly shows right there an off button on it, and it is something that is sitting there. So who knows what the deal is here, but it's interesting this tech is coming. According to the Institute for Traffic Accident Research and Data Analysis, Japan saw 3,110 traffic accidents by drivers mistaking the gas pedal for the brake in 2023, leading to 38 deaths and 4,300 injuries. Okay, so this is a big deal there. Okay, it's a very big deal. And I don't think this is necessarily bad tech, for what it's designed for and who it's designed for. I don't think it's a bad thing. It does say that the manual transmissions will not, or you can't do this to it. It's not going to be on a manual transmission car either. All right, moving on from there. So we got this one right here. How a cheap clay mitt can get stubborn film grime right off your windshield. We all know this, okay? We wash our windshield and then you still have all these little specks and things on there, and it just looks like it's just hard to get these little things off of there. Well, I've never yet tried this, but I am going to. I have clay mitts and I have clay bars. Obviously I got, or random orbital polishers. I got all that stuff for maintaining my vehicles. And but I'm going to try this with a clay mitt and see. But basically what he's saying is you clay mitt just like you would your car. You're just like, you do on your paint. You're going to do it to your windshield. It's going to pull all that contaminants out of the glass and make it back to new. So I have not tried to see if it's going to work yet, but this article seems to says it works absolutely incredible. And if you don't have a mitt, they're cheap. They're on Amazon for like $12. You can get them for $20 at your local auto parts store. You can use a clay bar too, but remember, with a clay bar you got to constantly open it, roll it, roll it, and do stuff, where with a mitt you don't have to do nothing. You basically just spray your solution on there, which can be just water in many instances, or it can be like a detailer spray, but you're going to put it on there and just rub away. What does he use? Spray some glass cleaner as a lubricant. That's what he's using here. The only reason you're spraying anything on there so the mitt slides easy on there. Same as you would with the paint. We use a detailer spray so that, you're not scratching anything. You can clay bar it, and let it slide. So simple, easy thing, something to think about. Again, if you want the article, author's there, and then just type in any of these keywords, pops right up for you. Now the recall, okay? NHTSA opens a recall query into about 94,000 Jeep Wrangler 4xe SUVs, okay? And when you hear this, it sounds scary, and then I'm going to make it unscary for you, okay? But it sounds scary. We are going to make it not scary, because it isn't. But it is a concern. So the National Highway Safety Traffic Administration has opened a recall on 94,275 Stellantis-owned Jeep SUVs over the loss of motive power, the U.S. Industry or Auto Safety Regulator said on Tuesday. The investigation targets Jeep 4xe hybrids SUVs manufactured between 2021 and 2024. Chrysler had previously recalled the same model in 22. We will talk about that to address concerns related to the engine shutting down. Recall query is an investigation opened by safety regulators when the remedy to solve an issue appears inadequate. Okay, so that's why they're diving in, because it seems that there's still some complaints this hasn't solved the problem. The complaint noted in a new report both failures in vehicles that received the recall remedy and those not covered by the prior recall. Jeep sold a little over 67,000 electrified Wranglers in the United States last year, representing 43% of the total models. Total sales for the model. So they're going after, they want 94,000 they got to check on. Okay, basically here that this open recalls for 67,000 of them were made in 2023. So it's a lot there. Now, it doesn't give you anything else on this, which is exhaustingly stupid. I mean, they don't give you anything else. So then we went over to this one here, okay, through Automotive News, which is one of the best automotive things out there, subscription-based. You have to pay to be on here kind of thing. But you look at this, and they don't give me any more information either. It's like, come on, I want more info. Give me something here to work with. I mean, nothing. So then we go over here, okay, and we go over here and we look at here, and I go on to here and we get to investigations, okay, because there's 0 recalls on the 2022. I checked 24, 23, and 22 on NHTSA. There's no recalls. There is an investigation, one investigation. So we go find that investigation. Here it is right here. The Office of Defects Investigation, ODI, has identified 68. Okay, there are 68 vehicles with this problem. Has identified 68 vehicle owner questionnaire reports for model year 21 through 2024 Wrangler 4xe vehicles alleging the loss of motive power. Recall 22V865 was issued by the manufacturer to address an engine shutdown condition in certain model years 2021-2023. Wrangler 4xe vehicles. The complaint noted here contained both post-recall remedy failures and failures in vehicle not included within the scope of that recall. An analyst compared to complaints received before the issuance of the recall and complaints outside the scope of the recall have been conducted. The results show that the current complaint rate is higher on the out-of-scope vehicles than it was for vehicles that were later covered by the recall. So the recall worked for many, but not for some. And there's vehicles that weren't in that original recall, meaning 2024s, that are experiencing the same kind of problem. So ODI is opening a recall query, okay, to assess the severity of the alleged defects in vehicles not in the recall, and it's also assessing the scope and remedy effectiveness of the recall. So, okay, that tells us a little bit, tells us the vehicles here that are there. So then I come over here. Okay, we get this, all right? So it's like, okay, what is this telling us here? I had to pull this up. This is from the Department of Transportation, okay? It says 68 vehicles are there that are in question. There are 68 of them. And then this reads the same exact crap that we just read on here, that we just read right here. It's like nobody's telling me what is going on here. They're not telling me the fix that was done. They're not telling me what the solution is. They're not telling me anything. So then we had to dig even deeper. And so here we go. And I had to pull up this recall right here directly from Chrysler. I had to pull up that recall, which we did right here. This is from Fiat Chrysler Automobiles, FCA. Safety recall, you can see it as revision 3, February 2024. Safety recall, this is at 22V865, loss of motive power. Here's what we got going on. So here's where it's don't be too alarmed at this, okay? Which is what I wanted to find out. How big of a deal is this? Loss of motive power. Do we got to put a new motor in it? What do we got to do here? Do we got to rip parts apart? Is this going to be like a Tundra where there's going to be Jeep parts scattered all over the whole entire world? What do we got to do here? So we dove into it. Here we go. About 62,900 of the above vehicles may experience an engine shutdown condition caused by diagnostic reactions to faults caused by loss of communication. Okay, it's a software problem. An engine shutdown condition may result in unexpected loss of motive power while driving, which can cause a vehicle to crash without prior warning. It's an important one, but it is a software one. Okay, make sure that, now here's the repair. Here's what the repair is, okay? Make sure that the battery pack control module is there first. Repair process, update calibration of software in the power inverter module. Compromises of the hybrid control processor, the auxiliary hybrid control processor, then update the calibration software in the transmission control module. Okay, they're telling you got to do this one before this one, this kind of thing. Alternate transportation. This is, again, right from Chrysler, okay, from Chrysler. Alternate transportations. Dealers should attempt to minimize customer inconveniences by placing the owner in a loaner vehicle if the vehicle must be held overnight. That's a beautiful thing. Parts that are needed. No parts are required to perform this service procedure. Parts returned. No parts return required for this campaign. Okay. Tools. This WiTech software, a laptop computer, and a micropod tube. Okay, so point being that this is not a big deal. This is not going to ruin your Jeep. They're not going to rip your Jeep apart. This is not something that's going to be catastrophic. This is not something that's, this is not a big deal is what it is. Now, the recall itself or the issue could be good if your vehicle shuts down on you going down the road, but the fix is nothing that'll be back ordered. Nothing that a tech's going to rip apart and put back together sloppy or fail on or do anything wrong. Nothing that anything. It is a simple software fix. And then even if they come out and tell you that the original one didn't work, they're working right now on a new one, which means it will be very quickly achieved because it is all software. So yes, it's a recall. Yes, it's affecting 94,000 Jeeps, but it is a simple recall for an important issue, but a simple recall. There you go. Thanks for watching.